Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Fox's Best Laid Plans, the planner channel that is just so tired. Oh, I am so tired. So tired. So, this was last week's plan. This was Monday the 19th through Sunday the 25th. We are into the final week of July, and actually Sunday is fucking August. Where has this year gone? Like, where has it gone? Okay, so we're planning this week. It's actually Wednesday. I had zero time on Monday to do my planner, and then I've got candle ash all over the place. Why does this happen every single time I make a video? I had zero time on Monday. And then yesterday, I was going to do it in the morning, but husband has not been feeling well the last 2 days. So he has been sleeping in the guest room because he's like, I don't want to get you sick, because you'll see I'm going to stay with my parents for a few days. And, we're worried about my dad's health constantly. So he's like, I'm going to sleep in the guest room. But the guest room is like right near the office. So I didn't feel like printing my, using my silhouette loudly while he was still trying to sleep at 6 in the morning. So anyway, it's Wednesday morning. I'm not proud. It's fine. Everything's okay. So here's the kit that I'm using. This is from Planello, and it's sunflowers. You'll see why that's relevant. And I love this kit. I think I have bought this kit and used it before on my old laptop, and I haven't transferred over any of the old planner kits, and I probably should do that. But I just bought it again. That's like $3. So anyway, this is the kit that I'm using. It's cute as hell. Okay, now it printed wrong several times, so let me get the correct printing ones here. There. Also, my allergies are absolutely horrid today. Just like terrible. Hi, what? Hi, buddy. I'll feed you soon, okay? Clarence is back. I don't know if he was back last week when I talked to you. I thought I marked it on here what day he came back. Didn't. Anyway, Clarence is back, and I'm so happy. He was gone for like 10 days, and I was worried that the blue jay, with this really aggressive and asshole blue jay that comes to my window, and I was afraid that he ate Clarence. Clarence is my squirrel, by the way, if you don't know that. He's not like my squirrel, like he doesn't live in my house. He lives in the tree outside of my house, and we're buddies. We're BFF. Here's a picture of Clarence coming to beg for treats. It's my baby boy. I love him. Hi. Hello. He's out there now. Anyway, it's been emotionally draining, kind of. I mean, it's been an emotionally draining life, if you want me to be honest, but yeah. No, things are okay. So Dad has been in the hospital. Let me give you the updates. Dad has been in the hospital since we last talked. He went in, on the 12th. Came home on the 16th. The next morning, they basically dropped his steroid dose too low, like when he went outpatient. And the next morning on the 17th, he actually fell. He's okay, like he didn't get hurt in the fall, but he fell because the swelling on his brain was such that he was having trouble walking and standing. Oh, motherfucker! Thank God for the magic of editing, y'all, because basically all I'm doing is blowing my nose and sniffling this morning. Oh, I don't know about anybody else, but at least like in Western Pennsylvania, allergies have been fucking ridiculous. Like, just, I don't know. It's been a bad thing. Like, my patients have been telling me about it, and yeah. So anyway, so Dad's been in the hospital. He was moved to the rehab unit last week to help him get some of his strength back, and that's been going really well. They do occupational therapy every day, and also physical therapy like a few times a day. And then he was, working really hard on that. And then they were, keeping him monitoring and he was doing radiation on his hip as well for hip pain. So from the bone mets. So that went really well. And then he's coming home this morning, and then he has his appointment for his brain radiation. So hopefully getting that next brain radiation hopefully that will be a big improvement too, because that'll help with any of the swelling that's going on. Although they think the swelling now may have been, it's unclear if it was from the cancer or if it was from the radiation, because the radiation can cause swelling, and that's why they give you steroids in the immediate aftermath. Like they'll give you steroids the day that you get the radiation and a few days after, but they also, the swelling can also occur weeks after. So that's what they think it is, but they're going to send him for one more targeted radiation this week. Well, he'll go today for his fitting, and then probably next week will be the actual radiation. So good news all around, basically, that he's well enough to come home, but I'm going to be staying with them, as you'll see. As we get into the week here, I'm going to be staying with them for a few days. I'm going to go over tonight and stay until at least Saturday. I wanted to come home Sunday because there's a thing I want to go to on Sunday morning out here in the city. So my parents live about 25 minutes from us. So it'll be good. I am a little bit stressed about it. Not because of anything that my parents are doing or whatever, just about being away from my house, and like work has been like really, really high intensity stress lately. Like this week has been really rough. The good news is we've had like a lot of people coming in for vaccines and starting the series, and I'm really proud of them, but it's been really crazy busy and hard to balance everything. And so I've been having a rough go of it. But so I'm having some anxiety about not being home on my days off to like do my normal, like normally, as you know, when my work rotation ends, then on Thursday it's like, okay, go to the grocery store, get my CSA, do my volunteer work, start working around the house, do chores, do laundry, clean, tidy up, you know, like that kind of stuff. I can't do that because I'm going to be literally like going right over there. So, I mean, it's fine, but it's something I have to work through in my brain. So, you know, one day at a time. So, yeah, that's what's on my mind right now. That's basically what's on my mind. I'm tired, and I'm just having a lot less energy than I should, but apparently this is a thing. So you're watching this. I mean, this is not a spoiler anymore. Yesterday was supposed to be the women's, do I want silence as an answer to, cut that one off. Yesterday was supposed to be the women's team, or was the women's team gymnastics final. And as y'all know, Simone Biles is the greatest of all time. And we thought she was going to go out there and be like amazing and really kick ass and help the team bring home a gold. And what she did instead was stand up for herself and her health and her mental health and talk openly about it on a fucking platform where millions of people are watching. And it was the coolest thing ever. And I don't know. I didn't think I could love Simone Biles more than I did. And it turns out there was more room in my heart because she fucking rules. Like, I feel so bad that she's going through the amount of stress that she's going through and the mental pressure, but I feel like so freaking proud of her that she, excuse me truck, I'm talking about something serious and important. Could you go away and come back when I'm at work? It's so loud sometimes. So anyway, it sucks so bad that she's going through that, and I totally can see why she's going through that. But it was so, I don't know, like, as a person who has mental health struggles and who is very open about their mental health struggles, it was so, like, it made me feel, like, less alone, maybe, a little bit, that someone else was talking about it. Look, y'all, I talk about my mental health all the time. I talk about grief, I talk about mental health, that's my thing. I want everybody to feel comfortable, but I was not raised that way. I was raised to, don't tell anybody that you have anxiety. Don't tell anybody that you're sad all the time. Oh, I had stickers for the numbers. Well, that's okay, I wrote them in. You know, my dad has struggled with anxiety since he was in his 20s, and in a way that was like helpful to me, because as a kid, the first time I ever had a panic attack, I was 6 and I didn't know what was happening. And my dad was like, whoa, I know what's happening. Here's how you're going to get through this. We're going to get you through this. And I got through this. And so it's been really helpful to always have my dad, because he talks very openly about stuff. Like, he's not ashamed of it. And my mom was always very much, don't talk about it. I think her point was not be ashamed of that's part of you. But her point was like, she doesn't want to admit that her daughter has those problems. I think that's part of it. And second of all, I think she's looking at it from like, people will hold that against you. And, you know, like, not that she holds it against me, but she says, you know, felt that if I talked about it, then people would be like, I don't know, judge me, or, you know, I don't know, an employer would say you can't work here because you have anxiety or depression, you know what I mean, like that kind of stuff. And I think there's basis in her fears about that, because that is how things were, that you just didn't talk about stuff. But that's not how things are now. And if we want to improve the problem, then those of us who are comfortable speaking about our struggles with anxiety and depression and other mental health issues, you know, it's kind of like, it's a thing that we can do to help to talk about it. Okay, every week you come to see my planner, and every week I want to talk about mental health and grief and other things. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm not sorry, because this is me, but you know what I'm saying. Like, let me get back to the plan with me. So I'm going to put in Monday and Tuesday stuff here. I didn't do any of my stuff in my Tuesday schedule, and that's fine. I just got into like a weird headspace last night. I just was like so tired, and I was a little bit muchly overwhelmed with stuff. What am I thinking that I want to do here? Okay, I need stuff for work, and I can use these for work. I was very muchly overwhelmed yesterday with just like trying to do anything. You know, I don't know. Part of what I've worked on in therapy is being okay with those days, and it's hard. That's probably the hardest thing. And I think that's one of the reasons that I was so moved by Simone Biles stepping back. I don't know if I've explained this fully well. Like, she was supposed to compete in if you don't follow the Olympics at all, she was supposed to compete in the women's team event yesterday, and she went out and did her first vault, and she was in the air after her vault. She kind of like lost her sense of where she was, and that's really dangerous. Like, it's one thing if your head's not in the game and you're a hockey player and like you're gonna give up a goal or something like that, but like gymnastics, if your head's not in the game, you could die. Like, you could really, really, like, if she had landed that vault differently, she could have been really hurt. So basically she recognized that she was like not in the right headspace, and so for her own health she pulled out, but also because she was saying like she didn't want to psych herself out and not be able to focus and have bad performances and then take the rest of the team down when the rest of the team is strong, and they were strong enough to go on without her. So I can't like talk and write today. There we go. So she ended up dropping out, which was fine because they had the way they did it this year, they had 4 competitors, and then they would take 3 scores, the top 3 score, or no, I forget how they did. In any case, only 3 people would compete on each, like not the same, didn't have to be the same 3 people. Like if bars were your thing, then you could do bars and floor and beam and not vault or whatever. So anyway, they had 3 scores for each apparatus. So they would have like alternated, and she dropped out so that the other 3 girls did all 4 of the apparatus. I hope I'm making sense. But she said that it was because she was like in this bad headspace and just it wasn't working. And you know what? I have been reading more and more about how the Olympians are like struggling this year. And like, they're Olympians, like they perform under pressure. That's like their thing, you know? And for them to be saying like, whoa, things are too much pressure. This is a good conversation that we have to be having. It like sucks that we have to be having this, but it's a good conversation to be having. However, it comes about because, yeah. Oh man, this is like, what did we have for dinner on Monday? Oh my God. Oh, Fuel and Funnel. I can't remember what day it is. Yeah, so it's I'm glad that we're having this conversation, but to hear the announcers, like, portobello. I got a little portobello sandwich. It was so freaking good. To hear the announcers, like, talking about this stuff, like, oh my gosh. Like, dude, just shut up. I'm getting very frustrated with the announcers this year. That I've seen, like, a lot of, like, missteps, and, like, we were watching the boys' gymnastics, and they were, like, there were a lot of, like, out of bounds, and, like, things that you don't typically see from, one of the Russian girls fell off the beam, like, actually 2 of them fell off in a row. Like, we don't see that kind of stuff usually in the Olympics, and I think it's so much pressure, and the stress of being over there when COVID's, like, picking up again, and, like, I can't even imagine, like, I don't know. And then for the girls' gymnastics, this is their first Olympics since the whole sexual abuse from their doctor, that asshole, came to light. So, like, is being back at the Olympics triggering in some way? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just so fucking much going on. And, like, it's still a global pandemic. And, like, in the U.S., they're saying that certain areas are going to have to start wearing masks again because people are being assholes. Which makes me mad. Because the people who are the unvaccinated spreading this variant around are not going to wear masks when they say we have to go back to wearing masks anyway. My anger. But do you see why I'm struggling right now? I'm just like, I'm tired and I'm angry, and I think the anger is building tiredness. And I want to say that these are all very normal emotions to feel at this time. And part of my work that I have done in therapy in all these years is, like, to acknowledge I'm angry and I'm tired. Let me manage that instead of just pushing through. And so, honestly, yesterday, for the first time, I kind of, like, broke my workout streak. I did try to take Layla for a walk, which didn't go very well. But we tried. And I ate comfort food for dinner, and I tried not to beat myself up about it. And, you know, it's one day at a time here in my life. I'm trying. So, these are the skills that I have learned and I'm continuing to work on. Oh man, look at all these open space though. I don't like it. Okay, so I had Chinese food for dinner. It was a different chef last night, and it arrived in like 20 minutes. I'm like, oh, this is so exciting, but like the flavor balance was off. He didn't use quite as much salt as our regular chef, and I was like, it's just missing a little bit, just a little bit. I think this is wicked. So if anybody else out there feeling the same way, you're just feeling tired and angry, and the anger is making you tired, more tired. That's how I'm feeling right now. Then I did LG walk. And honestly, I feel like pushed to my limit of, like, things that I can do. Like, right now, I don't even want to, like, I don't even want to write anything in here. Okay, no, you know what? Let's write things in here, because I do look back on this, and I like to memory keep from this. You know, I like to look back and see. So let's see. Monday, what did we watch? We watched Olympics. We watched... Okay, so I just, like, glossed over this completely. We did a sunflower photo shoot. Let me show you one of the pictures of Layla. There's a sunflower farm about 40 minutes from our house, and we went over there and took picture. We had a professional photographer do a photo shoot with Layla, and then we took some pictures afterwards, so I could have some now while we were waiting for the professional ones to come in, but it went really, really well. Layla was like a perfect little ham. It was so nice. So that's what this is, sunflower photo shoot. Then we came home, we got takeout, and I'm trying to think what we watched. We ended up watching swimming, for sure. What else was on? Was that the night the boys' gymnastics were on? Oh, I'm just going to write Olympics, because I can't remember exactly what we watched. We watched it the night before we watched the girls' gymnastics. Oh, I'm not going to be able to fit the word in here. Yes, I am. I believe in myself. Yeah. And then we watched swimming. We watched, we went to Dive for dinner. I just, like, wanted to go out and sit at a table for dinner instead of ordering takeout. So we went to Dive on Sunday night, and they had the Olympics on, so we were watching. The girls' gymnastics was on the one TV, but the TV that was right in front of us was playing water polo. And I've never, like, watched water polo, and neither had the other Yinzer that was sitting next to us. And we were, like, very trying to figure it out together, and it was a lot of fun. We were like, this is intense. Water polo, like, requires a lot of swimming. It's not just like throwing the ball and trying to score. It's like, you know, like in hockey when like they're in your zone and then you like get the puck to the other end. Oh my God, I can't think of words this morning. You clear the puck, thank you. Come on, brain. Then you clear the puck and it goes to the other end, and then you like there's enough time to do a line change, and then you get down there and to their end, and then now you're in a scoring opportunity. That is like very fast in hockey, and in water polo, it's not fast because it takes a long time to swim all the way down to the other end. It was very interesting. But the U.S. beat Japan, and that was very exciting. It was a very close game, and it was back and forth and back and forth. And I was like, oh, we were very into it. So that's what we did Sunday night. And so I think Monday night was when we were watching the boys team final, and then also we were watching the swimming, I think that night too. We watched swimming, I think, like every night. And then yesterday we did. I was like a little nervous to watch the Olympics last night. I must be honest with you, because I was concerned about how they were going to cover Simone Biles and her decisions. And it ended up they interviewed Nastia Liukkinen, who was one of the gymnasts in the 2008 Olympics in Beijing on the silver medal team then. And I've always really liked her. She was also on Dancing with the Stars later. And she was like so cool about it. And I was like, go girl. Girl power. Yeah, I've been like a lot of girl power. Want to talk about girl power? I got lost going to the sunflower photo shoot, and so did this other girl, because the directions on the Facebook page were wrong, and we both went to the same place, and there was a big sign that said, there are no sunflowers here, and I was like, oh, and she's like, I'm gonna figure it out, and then you follow me, and I was like, okay, and we became best friends for a minute, and that is why I love other people, even though I don't love every other person. So anyway, today Layla's graduation got moved to today. I should have mentioned that. She was supposed to graduate last Wednesday from her class, and Vanessa got sick, so she had to cancel it and postpone it for today. So we're supposed to go tonight. And I just am feeling the weight of I have so much to do to get ready to go stay with my parents. Because I'm going to be staying with my parents tonight, tomorrow, and then Friday. And then I think I'm going to try to come home Saturday night, maybe Sunday morning. So, like, I just don't feel like I have time tonight to go to her graduation, and she had a really rough time last time, and so I'm not going to put it in yet because I'm still mentally going back and forth, like in my brain. I don't know, and I'm trying to listen to my brain when my brain is like, hey, oh, yeah, we're going to leave that. Put a little bit more color down here at the bottom. So the rest of the week, I have some stuff going on, but I'm just having it's kind of wide open because I'm just going to be staying at my parents' house, and we'll see what happens there. I don't know, I'm not sure yet how my dad's going to do once he's home. I hope he does well, but, it's going to be different being away from the hospital and having the help of all the, nurses and physical therapists and everything. So I have a lot going on Thursday, actually, so I'm going to put in what am I going to put in here? I'll just put in one of these big ones. Because I have a lot of, errands and stuff. So, okay, so CSA delivery comes today. I guess I'll have to come back to the house and pick it up, because I'm going to tell my mom we can, make dinners with some of the stuff. And I'm walking dogs in the morning tomorrow. But I really wish I would show up at work and they'd be like, we accidentally scheduled someone to work your shift today. I'd be like, yay! That, has happened a few times to my friend who's still a floater. I was a floater and that never happened to me. The one time it did happen, I was, so short on hours that I had to be the one to stay. 7 to 9. But I would love that. That would be great. Okay. Then I have orthodontist at 11:20, which is a weird time. But they schedule 10-minute appointments for this stuff that they're doing. I wish they would have just taken my shit off my teeth and let me go about my life. But okay, I'm lifting with my old trainer. I guess he's the only trainer that I can lift with. What time are we lifting? 12:15. And then I have to run 5 miles. Well, I might do my speed work. was supposed to do speed work last night, and it was hot, and I was tired, and I just was like not doing it. So, okay, so I have to run. So I guess that's all that's on my list, really, and then we'll figure out whatever we're doing for dinner at my parents' house. I don't know what to expect, like, 'cause sometimes when I stay over there, like, we're talking all the time and, like, hanging out, and, like, I can't really work on any, when I'm home, especially now that husband's back to work, I'm, like, kind of when I'm home by myself, especially now that husband's back to work, I, like, can work on creative projects and kind of just do whatever I want to do, and, like, I love that. Like, I'm a alone time person. I know some people are not. I'm a very much alone time person. But when I stay at my parents' house, it's not quite that, I don't want to not socialize with them. So, I don't know what to expect yet. Okay. So then, whoa! And the big news on Friday is I have my surgery consult. So, let's put that in here. For my gallbladder surgery. And then I think that's part of the other thing is I feel like I'm in a holding pattern right now, and that is at 11 a.m. And so that means, that's something I need to do tonight is print out my paperwork. I have to print out like my new patient check-in situation. You know how you have to do paperwork when you're a new patient somewhere? I have to do that tonight because I have to bring that on. Whoa, stay down. I have to bring that on Friday. So back to what I was saying is I think I'm kind of in a holding pattern right now where, I don't know what date my surgery is going to be, and then I have to figure out the whole leave of absence thing from work, and like, yeah, I think that's like kind of on my mind. Like, I feel like I can't make any plans for anything past like this week. So 2 things that are happening this weekend. One thing is the Adios is on Saturday. So normally we go to that with my dad. I've gone with him every year since 1991, except with the exception of the one year that the Meadows was. Adios is like a harness race. My dad loves harness horses. And we've gone every year since 1991, with the exception of the year that they were remodeling the facility. And so it was in the Poconos, so I didn't go that year. So we're supposed to go. I don't know if my dad's going to be up to it. The next 2 days are going to be, so I'm not going to put anything in there, but he's like super excited about it. He really wants to go. And then we always go to like an early dinner, like a 4 p.m. early bird special dinner. He really wants to go. I hope we can go. And then Sunday, like I said, is Bach, Beethoven, and brunch, and I really want to go to that. Because you know what, last weekend, so my friend Em ran Birding River on Saturday, and I drove out I was going to help pace her, but then it ended up being like a total, like the day for everybody was just a shit show because of the weather. It like poured down rain for 3 hours, the trails were in bad condition, it was humid, the bugs were really bad, like everybody had a rough race. I think just over 50% of people who were signed up for 100 miles actually did the 100 miles. Like 46% of people, like almost half, had to drop out or drop back to 50. That's crazy. And that's like the ultra that I did in June with them. Like, we both dropped back our distance. We were supposed to do the 100K. We both dropped back to the 50K, and they ran out of 50K medals because so many people had to do that because the conditions were just garbage. So, anyway, I ended up I thought I was going to be like running with her overnight for a good portion of it. And we were going to split the miles between me and then our other friend, Lori. We were going to split the miles pacing Em over in the overnight portion. So I didn't think I was going to be back in the morning. But then she dropped at 50. And so I did end up driving home just because I had so much to do on Sunday. But I kept thinking, like, there was some reason I wanted to be home Sunday morning. And now I'm home Sunday morning, but I can't remember it. And it was the River City Brass Band was playing at Bach, Beethoven, and brunch. And I, like, remembered at, like, 1 p.m. And it was done at noon. And I was like, I could have gone after all of that. So I don't remember who it is this weekend, but I love Bach, Beethoven, and brunch is this free thing at Frick in the Frick Museum over in Shadyside. And I used to go to it when I was a kid with my mom. I don't know how we drove all the way into the city, but we did. But it's like a picnic. You can, you bring picnic stuff. I think they do have food trucks now, but we always used to bring food. Back when I was allowed to eat cheese, I would make this baked brie with cranberries. Oh, so fucking good. And have that, like, just eat a wheel of brie. But you bring your coffee and, like, you bring your crossword puzzles or your notebook or whatever. And it's just nice. And then it's, like, free. And then they have a different ensembles playing. So River City Brass Band was last weekend. I forget who it is this weekend. But I was like, I don't know if I can go the next weekend because I don't know my surgery status. But I know I can go this day. And then my dad came home and I was like, okay, I'll help out with him while he's getting adjusted to being back home. So I'm not going to put either of those things on here, but that's the plan for the weekend if all goes according to plan. So here I'm going to put my blood pressures over here. My blood pressure's been really bad since my work rotation started. It was like my doctor gave me a blood pressure pill to try because it was like still a little bit high. She's like, you don't have to try it unless your blood pressure goes back up, because when I went to the appointment with her, it was okay. So the week I got back from vacation, it was okay. And then when I was off, it was like great. It was like a normal person's blood pressure. And then since my work rotation started on Wednesday the 21st, it's been like gradually creeping up every day. And so I've been taking the blood pressure medicine now, and I don't know if it's working or not. But I'm going to keep monitoring it, and I have my appointment with her next week, so we'll check in with that. I made a list of the Olympic stuff that I wanted to watch, and I don't know. I'm feeling some kind of way. One thing on Sunday is I do need to do my power sheets. So I will write that in. That I can put in there. But yeah, in terms of the rest of the week, I'm going to kind of leave it open right now. I'm just in a weird headspace about it. I'm just trying to like get through. Like I said, like one of the hardest things that I have worked on therapy is like power spelling things while I'm talking. No, working on taking rests whenever I need to. I'm bad at it. And I'm trying to get better. But it's a long and slow and difficult process. Like one of the things that I like appreciated so much about Simone dropping out and talking about mental health and stuff like that is like, as an athlete, I mean, I'm not an Olympian, obviously, but as an athlete, as a runner and a former competitive dancer, in a lot of ways, it's much easier to just keep going and push yourself. And in a lot of ways, it's much, much infinitely more hard and difficult to know when enough is enough and stop yourself. And that's something that runners talk about. Like, we joke about it, but we also do talk about it openly. Like, it is knowing when to drop out of a race because you don't feel well, or to, stop training because something's not right. It's really, really hard. And so it's something that I work on constantly, like checking in with myself, and I'm not very good at it, and I admit that, but I'm still, I'm getting there day by day. So, wow, I don't love how wide open these days are, but I fucking love this kit. Look at this little hedgehog. I just think it's so cute. So I'll try to fill some stuff in. I might put some more decorative design stuff over here just to fill the space, just because I really love when a week looks like this. Like, even though I write silly things, like we went to Diamond Life and we were in line forever, so I wrote in line forever. And then I bought a new pillow because I thought I was going to be sleeping in the hotel with the girls on Saturday night. I didn't know for sure, and I forgot to bring a pillow, so I bought this cute pillow at a rest stop, so I wrote that on there. Even when it's seemingly nonsensical things like that, I like writing that in. And in fact, I can write in. Yesterday we watched Chopped. We watched the last portion of an episode of Chopped before I went to bed. And it was a dog episode, and they had a dog, and they all had to make food for the chefs, but also they had to make food for the dog. And the dog's name was James. Tell me James is not the best dog name, right? Oh, I loved it. It was so wholesome. So anyway, I can write that in, and then we'll see where the night goes. Like I said, I'm going to be a game time decision about Layla's graduation tonight, because I just don't know that I have the space for it and the time for it with having to get over to my parents' house. So if I go, I have to get everything packed up in the hour between work and leaving for the class, and I just don't know. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, thank you for watching and listening to me ramble on about mental health all the time. And I hope if you are having struggles, as I think a lot of us are in this still lingering pandemic, which is, getting worse before it's getting better right now. I hope that you are hanging in there and that you feel comfortable talking about stuff. And you can always talk to me because I always want to talk about it. I never don't want to hear about your sadness or your anxiety or your grief. I always want to hear about it. Okay, so please, everybody, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. And I will see you in my next video.